Hi, my name is Joe Alexander from J. Alexander Roofing. I am here at 1040 Woodside Drive, Findlay, Ohio, and today I am shooting a demo video to better educate you, the realtor, on the video inspection services we are now offering. Go ahead and come up the ladder. So the first thing that I like to do is just take an overall scope of the roof. As you can see, there's nothing absolutely glaring about this roof that says there's any major problems. So that's where I come in with my professional opinion. I can see right off the bat, and these gutters may be hard for you to see with the screen through the phone, but there are a substantial amount of shingle granules or shingle stones in the gutter, which indicates that this roof is losing life. Now the granules are the stones you see here on top of the shingles. What happens when we start to lose those, eventually the fiberglass mat will be exposed. This particular roof is in good enough shape with no fiberglass. And when that fiberglass starts to show, it leaves the roof prone to leaking, and it also loses color. So let's come down here. Same thing down here, nothing drastic. So now I'm going to get more detailed with this. As you can see, I don't know how well my phone's going to illustrate it, so maybe you can't see, but there's a lot of wave to this roof, up and down, which indicates to me there's some kind of sheeting issue. And as I walk on it, you can definitely tell that this roof is soft. There's a really good view of how wavy this roof is. Now this might not be an immediate problem, but what it says is that when and if this roof ever would get replaced, you may be looking at extensive sheeting damage, which would be a drastic increase of the cost. So let's come down here to the chimney. We always like to inspect those. There has been extensive amounts of caulk put on this, and I think they've even painted it, which indicates to me there could be some problems here. Another thing is we like to put a cricket or a saddle behind our chimneys. That way, in the dead space right there, you don't get snow and ice buildup, leaving you extremely susceptible to leaking. And we have the same thing going on with this other chimney. It needs a cricket or a saddle behind it. Your ventilation isn't bad. You have end-to-end shingle over ridge vent, which is completely acceptable, and it is the industry standard right now. One thing I will add though is you have this wind turbine right behind it, which that's a vent, a powerless vent. They work, but when you have a vent like this right below a ridge vent, it's actually counterproductive, so you would want that removed. What it does is it pulls fresh air from the ridge vent, leaving the bottom air towards the attic of your roof or towards the ceiling of your house stagnant, so that's actually counterproductive. We have a missing shingle right here. Some rust showing through the nails. And then another thing that I did notice, all along here, I am finding nail heads that are exposed, which could definitely leak at any point, especially if this is ignored. We're going to come around to this front dormer, check out this valley. This valley was not installed very well. As you can see as I zoom in, they have blackjacked that entire thing. That is because, I'm not going to poke and prod on the camera here, that is because they did not lay that valley in particularly well, and I can illustrate on the other one that it's even worse. They have this, we're going to call this side over here, right here, the primary layer, and this is the secondary layer. This secondary layer is actually coming all the way up on top of the primary layer, which means water is going to drive up under here. That layer needs to be cut back over here, creating a valley for the water, ice, and snow to run off of, melt, and run down, stay out of your house. So that actually is of somewhat concern to me. Overall, I would say probably ran half of its life, and most leaving half of it left. The granules aren't too bad. My main concern is there's some sort of ventilation issue, so maybe there's no eave or soffit vents. The chimneys are some concern to me just because I see so much caulk around there, so that indicates that at some point it was leaking. The brick's in good shape, the mortar's in good shape. And then this valley, along with the nails that I showed you guys earlier under the ridge vent, would be my main concerns. Once again, this is Joe Alexander from J. Alexander Roofing, performing a roofing inspection at 1040 Woodside Drive, Findlay, Ohio.